Now there is a story in the Bible that is told twice in the Scriptures, but with two very different outcomes. It is the Bible gang rape story I'm referring to. I only bring these stories up to ask a question. Most of you are probably familiar with the tale of Lot and Sodom, where the messengers of Yahweh, in presumably male form, came to see what kind of state Sodom and Gomorrah were in. So the two messengers end up meeting Lot, and he invites them in. Then a mob of Sodomites comes to Lot's house, demanding that he release the visitors for the express purpose of raping them. Now Lot refuses, but then offers his daughters to the mob instead. Hoy! The mob refuses Lot's offer. Then the messengers take things into their own hands and strike the gang of men with blindness. Then they warn Lot to leave the city before it's destroyed. Okay, so the second time the story is told is in Judges 19. This time a traveler is befriended by a resident from a Benjamite town, who offers to put him up in the house for the night. The traveler went to the man's house. Now this was only because the guy felt sorry for him, that nobody had taken him in, and said, "You can't be out here at night."
He knew it already.
He knew what was going to happen. So the traveler went to the man's house that night, and they had a lovely dinner, and was interrupted by a knock at the door. A mob of wicked men in the city had arrived, and they too wanted to rape the traveler. The man who owned the house refused and offered his virgin daughter and the traveler's concubine instead. Now this time, the rape was not stopped, at least not that of the women. The Scriptures say that the woman who was the traveler's concubine was raped and abused by the mob, literally the entire night. Apparently the abuse was so great that she fell at the door of the house in exhaustion. Now when the traveler saw her in the morning, he strapped her to his horse and set out for home. When he reached home, he dismembered her body and shipped the pieces to various places in Israel, to the rest of the tribes, yeah? To me, this is one of the most gruesome and immoral deaths in the Bible, and shows a clear lack of respect for women. I think the first story also showed disrespect for women as well. Do you remember what happened to Lot and his daughters after the rapist turned down the offer of the daughters instead of the human messengers? Now, after watching his wife of little faith who turned to stone, Lot and his daughters take to shelter in Zoar, but afterwards go up into the mountains to live in a cave. According to Jewish tradition, Lot's daughters believed that the entire world had been destroyed and that they were the only survivors. They, therefore, resorted to incest in order to preserve the human race. Several commentators describe the actions of Lot's daughters as rape. They say, Lot's daughters, let us lie with him. And the meaning of the Hebrew verb in this context seems to be too close to rape to see it any other way. And now, the moral of these stories is what?
Jesus recognized the intrinsic equality of men and women. He continually showed the worth and dignity of women as persons. Jesus valued their fellowship, their prayers, service, financial support, testimony, and witness. He honored women. He taught women. He ministered to women in thoughtful ways. And as a result, women responded warmly to Jesus' ministry. Jesus was very inclusive. Thanks for watching.